Dear students, my name is James Martell and I am the chair of the Department of Political Science at SF State. And I am here to give you some advice and to help you make your class choices when you come up for your registration. The first thing I'm going to talk about is some GE requirements, which aren't really a matter of political science, but we're offering a little bit of help there. And the second thing I'm going to do is talk you through the major itself. So let me start with the GE requirements. The main thing that we worry about is that you're generally in good standing as a student. Beginning this year, third-year students have to, in order to be cleared for advising, students have to be in good standing both in terms of the university in general and also in terms of political science in particular. You're in good standing in general if you have completed a minimum of 48 units by your third year, by the beginning of your third year, and you are therefore a junior, which means at the end of the semester, which means you'll have had 60 units. You also should have begun your major, or you should be finishing the final prerequisites to be able to do so. You should also be in good standing in terms of your GPA. You need to have at least a 2.0 and hopefully quite a bit better than that. If you fall under 2.0, you're going to go under academic probation, and if you already are under academic probation, you'll know that you can't register for courses until you get cleared. Finally, you should have many of your segment 1 and 2 courses done, and you should have or be completing 214 or your second year composition courses. That's pretty much it for GE. If you have any other questions with GE, we suggest that you speak either to the student services or in the Humanities College near us in HSS. We have Nikki Tresvina, who's upstairs on the 3rd floor. You could talk to her. Now, the rest of the stuff I'm going to talk to you about is about the political science degree itself. And all the information I'm going to give to you can be found in a handout that we have in the office, but you can also find it online on our department's website. It's called the Requirements for Degree for Majors. And I'm going to go through it right now and just explain it to you. So basically, when you're setting up for your classes, if you haven't taken any poli-sci classes yet, you should begin with our lower division courses. These are Poli-Sci 200, which you may have already taken in community college if you're a transfer. Often it's called Poli-Sci 1 there. It's the Introduction to American Politics, and it's a state law. So every student at San Francisco State has to take Poli-Sci 200 or some version of it. Some of our courses are absolutely huge with 700 students. Some are smaller with 50 students, but one way or the other, everyone has to take Poli-Sci 200 and especially Poli-Sci majors. Poli-Sci 250 is an introduction to comparative politics, which studies different world systems. Poli-Sci 275 is an introduction to political theory, and Poli-Sci 300 is methods of political inquiry. So these courses add up to 13 lower division units, which are required as the basis of the rest of your Poli-Sci degree. You don't have to take them in order. You don't have to take them first, but we recommend that you take them as soon as possible because they set you up for the upper division courses which follow. 29 out of the 41 units in the major have to be upper division courses. And if you subtract 13 from 29, you'll find that you can actually take one other lower division course. We actually have a few other lower division courses in the 100 series that you can take and that will count towards your major, but only one. The rest of our courses are all upper division courses. And the upper division courses are in two types. There are breadth requirement courses and elective courses. Actually, these are all the same courses, but by taking courses, you make them either a breadth or an elective, as I will explain. The breadth requirements are there in order to have students sample the diversity of courses that Poli-Sci offers and the diversity of fields of political science. Political science is a very diverse major, and there's lots of different fields which are very different from each other. So we ask that you sample a little bit from each field, or actually 3 out of 5 of the fields. The 5 fields are American politics, which is self-explanatory, comparative politics, which, as I said, is the study of the world system, different parts of the world as they compare to one another, political theory, which is the philosophy of politics, public law, which is about courts, the Constitution, and the legal system, mostly in the United States, and public administration and policy, which is about government, bureaucracy, and how governments work. So the breadth requirements, we ask that you take one course in 3 out of 5 of these fields. And you can take any of our upper division courses. If it's going to be, for example, a course about American politics, then obviously it will fill the requirement for the American politics breadth requirement. If it's a political theory course, it will fill the political theory. Now, it won't say what breadth field it fits into when you register for courses. You can probably just use your common sense, but if you have a question, you can ask me or anybody in any faculty member in political science, or you can consult the handout that I was just mentioning. It lists all the courses and which breadth field they fit into. However, we're constantly updating it, so there may be a course that's offered that you don't see on the list, and it may actually fulfill one of the requirements. And you may see a course that's on there, but we never offer, although we are constantly updating it, and in fact, we just eliminated a whole bunch of courses that we don't teach anymore. So it should be fairly current. So after you take the 3 breadth fields, or actually while you take them, you can also take your electives. There's no order to all of this. The electives are literally any upper division course. Now, half of the elective requirements, you have 16 to 19 units for your electives. Half of those, 8, can be in non-poli-sci fields. They can be in IR, they can be in sociology, they can be in anthropology, a whole bunch of fields. You can also take courses in other disciplines in other colleges like Raza Studies. Basically any course that really deals with politics, we often will allow to stand as your non-poli-sci electives. And the other electives are basically any upper division course we offer. You can concentrate if you want. Like, for example, if you took a public law course as your breadth and you loved it and you decided you really wanted to do more about public law, you could take your other courses all in public law, and that would be a way of specializing. But you certainly don't have to do that. You can take upper division courses in anything. You could take the other breadth fields that you didn't take. That's up to you. The only other things I want to add is that you must take a GWAR course in political science. And you should probably take a GWAR course relatively early, because the GWAR course teaches you how to write in that discipline. So a GWAR course is designated by a GW that comes after the number. And although you can take GWAR courses in other majors, to be a poli-sci major you have to take a poli-sci GWAR course. The other thing that I wanted to say, oh, and by the way, when you take a GWAR course, there are GWAR and non-GWAR versions of all these courses. You can't take both. So you can only take a course once, either in its GWAR version or its not GWAR version. The final thing I wanted to say is it's a 41-unit major. So sometimes you'll take courses that add up. You'll have met all your requirements, and you'll actually have less than 41 units. In that case, you actually have to take an extra course and make it to the magic number of 41 so that you can graduate. Now, this was general advising, and we're actually going to have a few meetings where we're going to go over all of this, and anyone can come. And if you have any specific questions, you can ask them there. Also, at the beginning of every semester, we assign all the undergraduate majors to all the faculty. So every faculty member gets about 60 undergraduate advisees. And you can go to that person and you can ask them any specific question and they can help you. But for the purposes of mandatory advising, actually watching this video is a requirement, or will become a requirement. And once you watch this video, you will be cleared as a result of watching the video. And however, you can supplement that with either these general meetings or meeting with faculty or meeting with myself, as you prefer. So you can consider yourself now advised, and I hope that you have good luck getting the courses that you want, and welcome to the political science major. Thank you.